I love you. Welcome back to the Couch Potatoes. You know the routine by now, hopefully. Plenty of room, big old couch.
Well, that doesn't mean we won't say it. I mean, I guess you did say it. I just said it.
I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
I am the Faceless Leon. This is Green and Faceless on the Couch, a podcast about movies and TV, but I guess you know that already. But
yeah, hopefully. Unless you're new.
I mean, they could.
And if you are new, then we should tell you to head on down to patreon.com/greenandfaceless.
If you want to support the show, we would really appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's our lovely little patron area. We've got quite a few little patrons over there.
Yeah.
Lovely potatoes of different tiers.
If you're old or new to the show, you should go to gofundme.com/f/WMTS fundraiser and check out our short film, When Magic Touches Stone, and support it for its festival tour. That'd be really great.
Hell yeah. That's really exciting too. We've already got entered into a few areas there.
Yeah. We've made about 40% of our goal in the dollar donation wise, and that's not all for just submissions. Some of that is hopefully for travel money if the film gets selected for screening, or money for future projects. So
we got a few fun ideas. I remember we have a really cool claymation story idea that we got to work or kick around. We haven't talked about it for a couple of years, but plenty of ideas. So if you are interested, if you've seen When Magic Touches Stone, our short movie, your short movie, really.
Well, you were a big part of it.
I tried. A
lot of storyboarding was us together.
Yeah, it was a fun project, and I really do kind of want to get back into that creative atmosphere.
Yeah.
And if you've enjoyed what you've seen, head on down, as we said, to patreon.com/greenandfaceless. But for now, let's return to our Disney playlist. Oh my goodness.
2 more left of this leg.
We're so close.
So close. And then we won't do Disney for a little while. Man, this leg we've really dragged it out. Yeah, I don't...
It's hard. It's really a dull, dark spell for Disney. They were toying with a lot of new stuff. And it's just, I don't know.
Mostly
it just doesn't
the 3D
carry
animation.
Is, I mean, when you have a big era like the 90s, for Disney at least, it's really hard to keep that going for long. And of course you're going to slump, Mm-hmm. You're going to have an era of hope, and you're going to have 4 years of, awfulness, and you're going to have a tiny bit of hope, and you're going to have more 4 years of awfulness.
Okay. So it is December, and we have been doing this leg of the Disney playlist since February. February
that's not too bad,
8th, the beginning.
That's not too bad. It's like one a month, And we were playing around with scheduling and
also I forgot that we did have a bit of a hiatus over the summer for my surgery.
Yeah, we took a bit of a summer break. We were a little lazy. It was nice. It was not nice for you. You were recovering.
I guess I was lazy, but that's that was doctor's orders.
No, I was lazy.
I don't have any
I was
excuse.
able to focus on myself. I was able to meditate and then have to watch Disney as fast as... Good God. That would have been a nightmare, having to chug through Dinosaur and...
Oh, man. Yeah.
The last one that I forgot already.
Chicken Little.
Home
Little. On the
Good
Range,
God,
that one hurt
Oh, shit, yeah. Brother Bear wasn't that bad.
No, I think Lilo and Stitch... Well, really, the Emperor's New Groove through Brother Bear were pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. And you know what? I'm going to say this right off the bat. As mentioned in the last episode, I like to talk about our origins with these movies.
Yeah.
We're talking today, Meet the Robinsons. I don't think I'd ever seen this movie before.
Really?
This came out when I was around 14.
Yeah.
And that was probably around the age where I was just like, yeah, fuck Disney. That's for kids. I don't need that shit.
I remember having Disney. That feeling towards it at that age. But, and I was even a little older than you. I was probably 15. I lived in a daycare center. So
yeah,
if
they snuck in there,
under
the cardboard boxes.
No, sometimes the kids though would be sitting down to watch a movie, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I like this one. I guess I'll sit and watch it." And one day they put this on. I was like, "I guess I've never seen it, so I'll watch it." And I thought, for what Disney was doing at the time, that it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I think I honestly look at it as better as an adult than I did as a teenager.
It's a little confusing. I think for younger minds, it might be a little bit of a.
Well, but I was a teenager.
It's not too hard. I know you were a teenager. I'm just saying for younger minds. I mean, you also had ADHD, and this is
true.
like a time. This is a time travel movie where shit gets messed up. Time travel-y. It becomes really wibbly wobbly really quickly.
It does.
And yeah, I can imagine for little kids, after a while, they just be like, I don't really know what's going on, but pretty colors.
Yeah.
And then for, a teen mind with ADHD, you're like, where's the boobs? I want the boobs.
Yeah, last episode, you mentioned that for some reason, whenever we do a Disney episode, we bring up sex. And it took you less than 7.5 minutes to mention the anatomy of humans that we have taboo against in our culture.
You want Disney Mom to show up, and the best we get in this, we don't have Disney Mom. We've got what's her name, Laurie Metcalf.
Okay, but Fran is pretty
Lucille.
Great. Lucille. Oh. Is that?
Oh, that's actually true. Yeah, Fran is pretty great, but it's kind of confusing. It's okay. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. We got a young boy here. We got an orphan.
Yeah.
What's his name? Lewis.
Played by Jordan Fry.
Yeah.
And also Daniel Henson. I don't know what the story is there. Do you?
Yeah, I looked it up. I think it was just a matter of needing to do reshoots.
Oh, okay.
And here it is. Yep, that was it. They just had Jordan Fry come in to redub mini segments.
Okay.
And yeah, I didn't realize it. I tried not to look up the cast list beforehand. I like being surprised typically by animations and then trying to figure it out and then playing the game of going there to see if I was right or not.
Yeah, I like to do that too.
Yeah, but I remember texting you after a while, and I was like, I don't understand why Lewis's voice keeps changing because
and I messaged back, he's 13.
Which is accurate. It's totally fair. When you said that, I was like, oh yeah, I guess he could be going through puberty, because that was the thing, is one of the voices is just slightly higher pitched. It's not really noticeable unless you're trying to listen for it.
Right.
But yeah, then I immediately looked at it and was just like, oh, never mind. There's two different voice actors. I don't know why, but there you go.
Well, that is interesting, but yeah, it doesn't really affect the film too much unless, like you said, you're really focusing in on trying to figure out who's the voice is.
Yeah, exactly.
But 12-year-old genius.
Yeah, he's a young inventor. He is, again, he's an orphan, so he's living at an orphanage which is run by what's her name, Mildred Duffy. Voiced by Angela Bassett.
I
didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Angela Bassett.
She's beautiful. Great voice actor, too.
Yeah.
And I didn't recognize it was her. But yeah, Louis, he's struggling to get adopted. He's a little chaotic, if you will. His inventions aren't always functioning appropriately. Mm-hmm. I remember specifically he has a peanut butter and jelly machine. It's supposed to distribute the perfect amount of peanut butter and jelly, and it explodes all over his potential adoptive parents, one of whom is allergic to peanuts.
Yeah,
and
they said like several times, please, Louis, don't do this.
They're like, we don't like peanut butter.
Yeah, we don't do peanut butter in our house. But they never explicitly said, no, he has a peanut allergy.
I know, that's what I thought too, because like when they said that, when they were just like, we don't do peanut butter in our house, I was like, that's a red flag, Louis, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Like,
if
they're
not
said,
American.
No, he has a peanut. Yeah. If he had said he has a peanut allergy, I would have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You probably shouldn't go forward with this machine.
Yeah. But no, they wanted to have anaphylactic comedy, and they got it, I guess.
Hell yeah.
They blew that 3D guy up real big.
He had an EpiPen. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The animation reminded me of like a vamped up Jimmy Neutron. You know.
Yeah, that's actually super fair. Same era. That makes sense a lot. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe it was even like playing off the popularity of that. I mean, he is an inventor kid with spiky hair.
Right.
Yeah. The animation you mentioned, I'm not sure that I care for it. Some of the character designs, I'm not upset with, but like, there's one particular part that really bothered me was that the lips were so like thin, like the skin that they modeled.
Yeah.
Like between it and the gums, like I swear it clipped sometimes. Like, and it really bothered me.
Yeah. No, I can believe it.
Yeah.
That was my only negative with this whole movie. As I was watching it, I was just like, I'm loving everything about this movie, but it just falls in that Disney era of looking like utter shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't actually look like it.
There's some good
pretty
work
well
here.
animated and edited. Yeah.
But it's just, there's some things that I was like, God, I wouldn't have put that out. Like just the mouth doesn't look right, and that's what people are looking at when they're listening to people. At least me.
Yeah, it was a little weird and off-putting for sure. In the orphanage, Louis has a roommate, if you will. Mm-hmm. His name is Goob.
Mike Yagubian.
Mike Yagubian. He goes by Goob. Well, everybody just calls him Goob.
Yeah.
Voiced by Steven Anderson, the director, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he directed it. So that's kind of funny. I love it when that happens. I don't think he was initially intended to be the voice actor. I can't remember who they had lined up.
He also was Bud, though.
Yeah.
Huh.
They had somebody lined up for the role that was like a big name, like I want to say Jim Carrey or something like that.
Oh, but, that would be a good Jim Carrey role.
Yeah, he eventually just did become that as
that is what he did, I guess, too. Steven Anderson, that is. He basically played Jim Carrey.
Yeah. That's true. He did. Yeah, poor Goob. He's because Steven does Bud, Goob, and also our villain Bowler Hat guy. And his bowler hat guy is just so funny. He's such a maniacal, like, goofy villain. Like, you can tell he's not like really evil. Like,
he's just kind of
he wants revenge. Yeah, that's it. He just wants revenge.
The real mastermind is the bowler hat.
Yeah. Believe it or not, Doris.
Doris the bowler hat. Oh boy.
Doris is an evil hat from the future, that is seeking revenge as well on her creator.
Yes.
So you got Bowler Hat guy who's seeking revenge on Louis, our young hero, for reasons you'll have to watch the movie to find out.
Right.
and then you have the bowler hat, who is seeking revenge on its creator. Again, for reasons you'll have to watch to find out.
Yeah. It's fun.
But yeah, poor bowler hat guy. Like, it's so funny. Like, so he can kind of, like, with using his hat, using his bowler hat, he can control the minds of people. Like, he can take over their bodies. And it is hilarious because he keeps taking over people, and then they're just like they eventually just kind of stall out on their duty because he just didn't do a good job, because Bowler Hat Guy did not do a good enough job of explaining what goal he wanted them to accomplish.
Yeah, the common line for it though is that they'll stop and he'll be like, "Do it, I command you," and they'll be like, "Well, you see, I have a little body and short arms, and I'm just not sure this plan was thought through."
It's so funny. I love it.
Yeah.
It kills me, man. It keeps happening because he'll possess a small kid who has a big head and can't grab the thing. He'll possess the T-Rex that we already mentioned.
Yeah.
And when the T-Rex says the line, it just got me. It was the best fucking part of the movie.
Did we mention the T-Rex?
You really do.
That might have been before.
You really do feel bad for Bowler Hat Guy though, because it's just like he just wants revenge. He's not like really villainous. And when you find out, that the bowler hat is what's really the big villain, you're just like, all right, we got to stop this and we got to find a happy ending for Bowler Hat Guy because he's too goofy to want to be punished in brutal Disney fashion of falling off a cliff.
Yeah. But yeah, he does get a happy ending, and I do appreciate that. That's not a spoiler, I feel like, to say.
Maybe.
Maybe. But there's a whole bunch of funny, fantastic family members. So eventually a time traveler comes to meet Lewis, who fails at a science fair on a machine that he knew should have worked. Anyhow, Wilbur is like, "Well, hey, I could use your assistance in the future, I guess." I'm not honestly sure if I understand why he wanted to get... Oh, he knew that that's where the Boiler Hat Man was going. So he's just trying to protect Lewis. And he complained to be a cop too, but he's a kid.
He's voiced by Wesley Singerman.
Thank you. And they go to the future and they meet Wilbur's family, the Robinsons. And yeah, you got a whole bunch of them, like I said. Mostly I want to talk about Franny, Nicole Sullivan. This is Cornelius's wife. And you don't meet Cornelius until the very end of the movie. It's kind of a big mystery.
Right. Yeah, he's described as looking like Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
He's later voiced by Tom Selleck, which is wonderful.
That's
I did not
great.
recognize that
joke.
until...
I think it's too far apart. And his lines are too, they're not very prevalent. So it's not one that you could pick up unless you look up the cast list, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
So he
is enjoyable. With Franny, I want to put up we don't have to do a spoiler wall, but I want to talk about something mildly creepy about Franny that I think should take roughly 3 minutes. Let me look at my time clock here. Okay, I've got an estimated time of our spoilers. Okay. So from 3 minutes from this second now.
Okay.
Skip 3 minutes if you don't want the spoilers. It's kind of creepy because Lewis comes into their life, and spoilers, he is Cornelius.
Right.
As we find out. And he is calling his future wife Mom, talking about getting adopted by her, all of this wonderful thing. She even offers to adopt him until she realizes who he is. And when she finds out who he is, she's like, oh dear God, please get back to the future or get back to the past. Like, get out of here.
Okay, so what do you find creepy?
Just the Oedipus nature of it, of like the slightly Oedipal nature of this kid considering his future wife to be his mom. Like, it's a little off-putting.
And then he goes right back to the past at the end of the movie and finds her at the science fair with her frogs.
Which
it's a great scene, but like, yeah, he's like, hey, you're gonna make a great mom. Let's get together.
Excuse me, ma'am. I've seen the future. Allow me to groom you a little bit.
Gross.
We still have 1 minute of spoiler.
Okay,
free wall here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about it. Do you got anything else? Well, I mean, could talk about. Okay, so the grandparents who he meets, Wilbur's grandparents, they adopt him at the science fair. Basically, one of the judges was the mom. Yeah, the grandma.
It's lovely. Yeah, she's Laurie Metcalf.
Yeah, she was really funny.
You know, Roseanne, Scream 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is wonderful. Her physical character is akin to a character you would expect Kristen Schaal to be voicing. So, you know, if in modern times, if they were to remake this movie, it would probably be Kristen Schaal in that role.
Yeah. And she's an inventor too, so it's kind of great that they get together.
It is adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do love that. It was a beautiful little way to cap off the movie. I'm so sorry, spoiler people. Yeah, spoiler people, you're just joining us now if you skip the spoiler. Go back 1 minute. The spoiler all really was just 2 minutes. We talked something else after that, really. Thanks for coming back, guys. And you're just in time, I think, honestly, for closing statements, right? Unless you had something else.
Yeah, I don't think so. Besides to mention that there are a boatload of recognizable voices in here. You got a pizza delivery man superhero named Art Robinson, and he's played by Adam West, of course. Like, who else would you get to voice a superhero? And who else did I want to mention? I feel like Angela Bassett was the other big one. Oh, Tom Kenny. Tom Kenny plays the science teacher, Mr. Willerstein.
God. And I didn't know that.
Yeah, he acts really disappointed in Lewis at one point after being like super hopeful towards him and stuff, and it's really crushing. Honestly, it's like, oh
yeah, and it's like, bro, you don't know how much you just traumatized this kid's future, and potentially the future of the world.
Yeah, you don't know how important he is. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Closing statements. Yeah, I think it's fun. It's a time travel romp. Like, you shouldn't expect the rules to make a whole lot of sense, I would say. But they also don't do things that are too outlandish, that don't make sense.
I thought the rules kind of fell in line pretty well.
Yeah, for like a kid's movie, sure. Like, but exactly. There's no like complex paradox sort of things going on that they're worrying about, like
multiverses and whatnot.
Exactly. Oh, multiverses, Jesus. But anyways,
that's for the sequel.
There was supposed to be a sequel. It got canceled. It got canceled when they got a new chief of creative whatever at Disney. He stopped all the sequels and said we need to do spin-offs instead. Spin-offs and new content. Yeah, I don't remember what that guy's name
we do start a new era after this, so... Well, actually after Bolt, but, you know, Bolt was kind of really the stepping stone for the new era.
Right. I will say that, too. It's a good bridge between, I think. I just watched it yesterday.
I have not watched it yet, but I did watch the trailer and was like, God damn, the animation's so much different.
Oh, yeah, it's a big improvement. I give it a full face, nice. A nice big full face, though. It's better than the last movie, for sure.
Oh, for sure. I can agree with that wholeheartedly. You heard my thoughts on Chicken Little if you were there for us potatoes. Like, good God. But no, this one was a pleasant surprise. I went into this not realizing if I couldn't remember if I'd seen it or not. I looked up the plot synopsis and was just like, not like I didn't read the plot synopsis, but like, the little summary of like what it is about, and I'm like, nah, that doesn't ring any bells. And I started watching it, and it was just immediately clicking. I immediately loved it. I like the voice acting. I love the story. I really just love Lewis. Lewis was such a beautiful character.
Yeah,
I do love his story.
He starts at such a low. Like, I feel like besides Cinderella, we haven't had a character that starts as low as him as our protagonist.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, he's a dirty orphan boy.
That's terrible. What I mean is that he feels that he has nothing. He has the love of Mildred, and also the friendship of Goob, but he doesn't see that as what real love is. He's supposed to have a mother, and that's.
I felt they did such a good job with Goob, because there's a moment around the end where Goob kind of like pops back up, and you have this like, oh my God, yeah, Goob, kind of realization.
Yes, yeah.
And it's so funny because like the poor kid, he's just in the background the whole time.
Yeah.
You just forget about him.
Yeah.
And then when he pops back up, you realize that you've forgotten about him.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh no.
I will say that the first time I watched it, yes, that was how it was, but I will say that there's a twist concerning Goob, and after you know the twist, it's really obvious throughout the film.
Yeah. No, I can imagine, and I was happy I was blindsided, because it just made it even more impressionable.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this one. It was fun, but the only negative was the animation. It really did just feel like a Disney-fied Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I give it 4 out of 5 stars.
Nice.
Like it's really fun.
Nice. Yeah, this one's definitely worth watching. So go grab a DVD.
Wahoo! Yeah, pop in your VHS, get ready for it. And we'll be coming back at you with John Travolta and
John.
Who else? Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, Miley Cyrus is in it, but she's not in it as much as
John Travolta.
Yeah.
Man, Disney, that just feels weird.
You know what, though? It's really good. Like, he really fits both.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Because I was thinking the same thing. Like, I was like, I know I've watched this before, and I know it's John Travolta, but my mind has a big dissonance between those two things. But it's pretty good. Okay, we'll see you next time.
Right. Yeah, I'm the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I'm the Faceless Leone. Safe travels, and good night. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.